Welcome to the Homeschool Sanity Show, your weekly prescription for happier, healthier homeschool living. I'm your host, Dr. Melanie Wilson, Christian psychologist turned homeschooling mother of 6. Hey homeschoolers! This week our topic is how to be happy and homeschool too. Wait a minute. Are you wondering if I'm suggesting that happiness and homeschooling are mutually exclusive? Yep, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. I'm thankful my friends Andy and Kendra Fletcher were the first to be honest about it, saying that homeschooling can be a buzzkill. Before we dig in, I want to thank our sponsor for this episode, the movie Ice Dragon, Legend of the Blue Daisies. I also want to invite you to meet me at a great homeschool convention in Cincinnati in April or St. Louis in July. If you want to stalk me at both conferences, go ahead. I'll be speaking about motivating your students, managing parental anger, and managing frustration in your child. Find my booth by looking for Fun to Learn books. Register for the conference today by going to greathomeschoolconventions.com. This is the time where most podcasters make a shameless plug for a product they're selling. My plug isn't shameless at all. In fact, I think it's shameful if you don't already own the Organized Homeschool Life Planner. My planner was designed to create happiness. Each day, the planner directs us to spend time with the Lord. We thank Him for the blessings we have, which is proven to create happiness, by the way. We read the word the Lord has for us, and we write it down so we can remember it. We can then write any worries we have as a prayer. I use this space for truth journaling. I hear from so many of you who struggle to make time for the Lord. I love that the Organized Homeschool Life Planner makes it easy. Learn more by going to psychowith6.com/TOHL planner. Time for a word from our sponsor. The animated feature Ice Dragon, Legend of the Blue Daisies blooms on big screens nationwide for a 2-day family-friendly adventure. Take an amazing journey to an enchanted world that holds a secret, where hope is in a song. In select cinemas nationwide, March 24th and 26th only. Tickets are on sale now at fathomevents.com. If you missed the live event, purchase a copy for your home library on Blu-ray, digital, or DVD. Visit icedragonmovie.com for free resources for the kids. About this week's topic, how to be happy and homeschool too. Before I go any further, I have to address the controversial issue. Which controversial issue, you ask? The use of the word happy in my title. In some Christian circles, happiness is treated like the pagan stepsister of the word joy. Don't believe me? I was once asked by a conference organizer if I would be speaking about happiness rather than joy. Happiness was strictly forbidden. You can imagine how happy I was to have this person listening to my every word and verifying that no happiness talk was included. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand the theological difference from joy, which is a fruit of the Spirit and isn't subject to circumstances, while happiness is a fleeting human emotion. But I also believe that God created us to seek happiness. Happiness is related to the release of dopamine in our brains. Dopamine allows us to learn. Dopamine motivates us. Without happiness, we would all be the ho-ho eating, couch-dwelling bums we're often assumed to be. Seeking happiness isn't evil unless you are sinning or you're a psychopath who enjoys inflicting pain on others. I'm going to leave that determination up to you, and I will proceed. I'm hoping all the psychopaths stopped listening. I also hope that I've established that being happy and seeking after it is a good thing. You can thank me later for absolving you of that guilt. But what I haven't resolved is happiness and homeschooling. How do they fit together? The problem that most of us have is that we begin homeschooling believing that it will make us happy. Well, maybe not homeschooling per se. Most of us believed that homeschooling was a path to well-behaved, godly children who would one day win the National Spelling Bee. If we really want to dig deep, and I do, we may admit that we thought homeschooling was a way to make ourselves look good as parents. Maybe we could prove to the naysayers that we actually know what we're doing. The trouble with this is obvious. We had no idea what we were doing when we began homeschooling. And choosing to homeschool in order to be happy is an even bigger problem. Homeschooling can make us miserable. I met one of my now good friends when she had just begun homeschooling. She told me, "My son doesn't want to follow my plan." I just laughed. Our strong-willed kids never want to follow our plan. And even our submissive kids, if they had any sense, wouldn't want to follow our plan. Our plan, when we are starting out, is nuts. We try to teach 15 subjects a day using 30 different books. And our schedules would make Navy SEAL candidates turn and run. No human being can complete the obstacle course we call a schedule. Between being pregnant, nursing a baby, chasing a toddler, cleaning up after the preschooler, managing the tween's attitude, and standing our ground with a rebellious teen, we have zero energy left to sew them matching outfits or grind the wheat for homemade bread. If you haven't yet begun homeschooling, consider this episode your warning. Happiness is not ahead. I thought you said this episode was about how to be happy and homeschool too. I know that's what you're thinking. I'm a psychologist, so I have that gift. I am going to tell you how to be happy and homeschool too. But I had to make it clear that homeschooling won't make us happy. I promise you, it won't. If we want to be happy and homeschool too, we have to be happy first. I know some moms who want to homeschool and are unhappy. Perhaps they long for another child. Maybe their marriage could use a tune-up. Or maybe they aren't happy working outside of their home. If you add homeschooling to your unhappiness, you're highly likely to be miserable. Before you homeschool, you have to work on your happiness. Yes, happiness is work. It isn't something that is bestowed on us by the happiness fairy. Happiness doesn't come from getting married, having a baby, or getting an Instant Pot. Like physical fitness, happiness requires consistent attention. If you're unhappy right now, keep listening. It gets worse. Happiness isn't a passive activity. Because happiness is a human emotion that is short-lived and tied to our circumstances, we have to pursue it regularly. One of the biggest mistakes we make with respect to happiness in our homeschooling is we stop doing the activities that used to make us happy. When I began staying home with my first child, I lost a considerable amount of income. Without consulting my husband, I decided that I would not spend any money. I didn't feel I had earned the right to spend. I was not only living very frugally, but I had no social contacts. The relationships I had were all at work. It didn't take long for me to become very depressed. If that's you, I encourage you to listen to the episode I did on depression for homeschooling in real life. The link is in the show notes. Here's how I got my happy back. I started a Bible study with other stay-at-home moms at my church. We started going out occasionally to eat as a group, away from our husbands and children. Gasp! I spent money. I left my husband and my children at home. I did, and I'm proud of it because it saved my sanity. I also started scrapbooking regularly with my friends. I had a hobby that I spent time and money on. It made me happy. If you want to be happy and homeschool too, you have to do things you used to enjoy. Depressed people do fewer and fewer pleasurable things. The solution can be as simple as pursuing those pleasurable activities once again. I can hear you making excuses right now. That's another of my psychological skills. I can't afford to do the things I used to do. My response? You can't afford not to. You could spend a modest amount of money on the hobby or the social activities you used to enjoy, or you can spend 5 to 10 times as much on treatment for your depression. You choose. The fun is just beginning. If you want to be happy and homeschool too, you must do things you enjoy. You also must exercise. If you don't have time to exercise, you don't have time to homeschool. My opinion is that exercise is more important than homeschooling. How can I speak this heresy? Because in a homeschool, you are the most valuable player. Without you functioning well, your homeschool will fall apart. Your marriage will fall apart. I think of a homeschooling mom like a thoroughbred. I don't know much about horses, but I know that I would never race a horse that had had no workouts. Every day in the life of a homeschooling mom is a race. In order to be at our best, we have to exercise. Exercise is the most powerful drug we have. It can treat depression, anxiety, and it can prevent a host of physical illnesses. Best of all, it's free and has very few side effects if it's done correctly. Exercise releases endorphins that make us happy in the moment, but happier all day long. It doesn't have to take long either. A recent study demonstrated that 3 vigorous 10-minute walks were more effective than a longer walking session at a moderate pace. Take the kids with you. Get them dancing with you to Christian Zumba or on We Dance Party. Or get really crazy and go to the gym without them. To quote Nike, just do it. If you are spending time doing things you enjoy, and you're getting regular exercise, you are ready for step number 3 to make you happy. After racing my thoroughbred, I would not ask it to teach long division or correct papers late into the night. I'm going to give it adequate rest. To be happy as homeschooling moms, we have to get enough sleep, even more than enough sleep. If you believe that you're getting enough sleep, but you're not that happy, add an extra half hour of sleep to your schedule and see what happens. Sleep deprivation makes us cranky. It produces fatigue, which makes running our homeschooling race so much harder. As moms, we recognize our kids' need for sleep. Let's recognize our own. As I have gotten older, and more specifically hormonal, I need more sleep. I get it, even if doing so means I can't keep up with my Navy SEALs schedule. I can hear you again, and you're saying you don't have time to sleep. You have a baby, a toddler, or a teen waking you up at night. Then take a nap. A short nap of 20 minutes can do wonders in restoring your energy and your mood. Have a nap while your kids are napping. Ask an older child to supervise a younger while you nap. Put on a video. Allow the kids to play a beloved game. Yes, I mean a video game. Or hire a mother's helper so you can nap. It's all worth it to be happy. I could give you more ideas, but these 3, pleasurable activities, exercise, and sleep, are enough to get you started. When you are working to achieve happiness, you can be happy and homeschool too. In fact, with a happiness foundation in place, you can find yourself being even happier in your homeschooling than you ever dreamed. Homeschooling can be a buzzkill, but it can also be one of the most rewarding careers a mother can have. I have been homeschooling for 19 years. I have enjoyed a closeness in my relationships with my kids that thrills me. I marvel at the closeness my kids enjoy with their father and with one another. And the blessing of learning together is an experience not to be missed. But these blessings come after we are already happy. Thanks again to our sponsor, the Ice Dragon movie. Today's action step is to, come on, get happy. Find links to the information you need in the show notes at homeschoolsanity.com/happy. Do have a happy homeschool week, and I will talk with you next time. Thank you for joining me for the Homeschool Sanity Show. This has been a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.